Ricochet, you take your aim, far away, far away. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am Cut me down, but it's you who have further to fall. Ghost town, haunted love. Raise your voice, sticks and stones may break my bones. Talking loud, not saying much. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet, you take your aim. Far away, you shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am Stone heart, machine gun, firing at the ones who run. Stone heart, those bulletproof glass. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium.
Hello, 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 everybody.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hello, community. I feel like it's been a long time no see for us to be in here in Xiaohongshu for Teachers on our YouTube channel. Let me know what platform you're joining us from, by the way.
Yeah, let us know. Welcome,
Great.
Jensen, Melindy. Thanks for joining us in the chat.
Thank you guys so much. Yes, we have an exciting masterclass ahead of us. We're really excited to dive into something a little bit Xiaohongshu related, but also not. also have been experimenting, expanding beyond
Yeah.
just one social media platform. So very excited to bring that forth to you. Coach Chris, how are you doing today? How you feeling?
Great. I'm doing great. It's midweek vibes. And it's almost mid-month, which is insane. But
Crazy.
yeah, we have only so much time before 2024, right?
Exactly, exactly. So a lot to think about, what you want to tackle and get ahead of for quarter four. October officially kicks off quarter four. So as a teacherpreneur,
Yeah.
there's an opportunity to plan things out.
I think it's also about like understanding where you're headed, right?
Exactly, exactly. It's very important to be able to map out your goals so you can actually track your progress as well. So, highly recommend doing that. I know that's something that Coach Chris and I implement in both our businesses, and it's really held us together ever since.
Absolutely. So,
Okay,
yeah, let's get to it.
let's get to it. All righty, guys. So something exciting today. Also just to give you guys context, Coach Chris and I have officially wrapped up the Teacher Biz Xiaohongshu Bootcamp 5. It was our fifth
Yeah.
Xiaohongshu Bootcamp, but actually our sixth boot camp that we've ever run in our careers as online teacher coaches, let's say. This one was incredible. It was really great. We had a really every boot camp is very special, but I feel like this cohort that we had was very focused, coming from different backgrounds, but all under the
Yes.
umbrella of using some kind of social media marketing strategy to funnel in students, and not only from Xiaohongshu, not only from the Chinese ESL market. So that was a really interesting kind of twist to this boot camp.
I would agree. I think we were all kind of building global brands, which I think that was
Yes.
really powerful. And because the way we thought about this boot camp is really like, okay, like, we get that you want to go into Xiaohongshu and attract students, but what's the work behind that, right? What's the work that needs to be done? And so, which is work that can be then, which is your foundations for your brand, which we're going to talk about today.
Exactly. Super, super. So let's get right into it. Coach Chris, I'm going to pull up our beautiful presentation. Yes. Today we're going to be
Yes.
diving deep into the 3 T's to your unique teacher brand. So that's also a really
Woo.
interesting new phrase that we've been using, teacher brand. Um, I'm curious, you guys, what comes to your mind when you hear the phrase teacher brand? What do you think of? I'm
What a
curious.
snap.
How about you, Coach Chris? What comes to your mind when you hear that phrase, teacher brand?
For me, teacher brand is it's basically your business foundations. So what message you're trying to get to and what your business is about, essentially. Without that, everything else kind of is kind of like throwing spaghetti at a wall with no reason. Like there's no reason,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I love Melindy's comment here. What comes to her mind here is niche. Love that. Super
Mm,
important. We're
mm,
going
mhm,
to be
mhm.
definitely touching on that today. Branding, marketing. Yes, I love it all across the board. So we'll definitely be touching on those points. Um,
Yeah.
Great. Super. So diving right into it, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about first off, right off the bat. What is a teacher brand? And I love, Coach Chris, I love your definition. Absolutely. And I love the idea of how it aligns with you specifically. I know that in the one-to-one work we do with our clients, and actually in all of our programs, is what we try to bring out in our clients is their authenticity and a way for them to show
Yes.
up on social media that feels familiar, feels comfortable for
Right.
them, showcases their unique strengths. And I think in turn that makes the whole idea of showing up on social media a lot more sustainable for them. It's comfortable. They're able to maintain that consistency.
Agreed, agreed. There's this you take the guesswork out of what to post or what to say online and to really
Mhm.
gain that visibility for your business.
Absolutely, absolutely. So all of those things, it's about your strategy. It's about being able to show out up as your unique, authentic self, like we said. But in turn, also, it's about standing out among the crowd. How often do we hear, especially when we talk about Xiaohongshu? Oh, Xiaohongshu is oversaturated. It's oversaturated.
Yeah.
There's a sea of teachers on there. Yes, absolutely, there is. So we have to put in the extra work to really elevate our profiles and stand out. And I don't want to use the word competition because I believe in collaboration over competition, but we have to do something
Yes.
to leverage our profiles to attract the exact profile of student we want to be working with. So that is all about the idea of a teacher brand. Coach Chris, maybe you can
Absolutely.
dive into the specifics. I think you're the branding
Yeah.
expert.
So a teacher brand is essentially your business card, if you want to think about it, or the way that
Mm,
you come across, right? That sets you apart. You can think of it like your teaching style, like a classroom. You set the classroom vibes, you set the classroom curriculum, and you're really the one setting up the environment. So essentially, this is what you're doing with your teacher brand. You're trying to really understand yourself before you actually go out into the world and message and serve the community and the following that you're trying to build. And so I think that first begins with what we have coined here at Curtain Funnel, star student. Is that right, Katinga?
exactly, exactly. And thank you again, Melindy, for mentioning the idea of niche within
Yes.
the teacher brand. Exactly. That's what we talk about all the time, star student. And that's also an extra step we take with any of the teachers that we work with. And actually, any
Correct.
conversation that teachers begin with us usually starts off on this foot where we ask them, what kind of student are you trying to attract? Um, and how often, Coach Chris, do you hear, "Oh, that's easy, Chinese students." But, let's take into account, like, how the population of China, right? And, okay, let's think
Right.
about Xiaohongshu. How many users are on Xiaohongshu?
About 100 million active users. That's a lot of
Yes.
people.
So that's like, us trying to target 100 million, yes? 100 million
Yeah. Yeah,
users
I
on
think
Xiaohongshu.
teachers have this false perception that they can just log on there as if it was a booking platform,
Yeah,
post something, post a demo video, and they'll expect bookings automatically. And that's far from the truth.
exactly. Exactly,
That's far
because
from the truth.
we'll talk about it as well today, but guys, even as good as your brand may be, sometimes you have to invest the time to build up your presence. For some of our clients, it's been a month.
Exactly.
For some of our clients, it's been 3
Yes.
months. But, we wanna think of it more as a marathon than it is a sprint. Don't
Correct.
expect those results overnight. It takes work, and it takes steady work and consistency as well to be able to use it as a funnel machine or a lead magnet, let's say, for your business.
Exactly. Exactly.
Great.
Agreed. So, That's- so shall we jump into our first topic?
Exactly. So the next thing I wanted to kick off a little brainstorm. We always had a lot of fun with these in the boot camp, Coach Chris.
Yes.
So doing a little
Get
brainstorm
ready to
session.
chat.
Yeah, I want you guys to contribute. I want you guys to share your answers in the comments. We're going to kick it off with a question. This is going to be related to your teaching niche. I want to see how much you guys have your teaching niche, your star student nailed down. We're going to do a little hot seat coaching here. We're going to troubleshoot these STAR students with you. So Coach Chris, let's
Yeah.
jump to the next slide.
Okay, let's do it. So this is a question for all of you. We'll give you a little countdown, but before that, we do want to make sure that you get the question: what unique strengths and experiences can your STAR students benefit from? So coming from
Perfect.
you. I'm going to go ahead and type it in the chat so
Yes,
that we
awesome.
can.
So this is the way that we're kind of gapping the bridge between who you are, what you represent as your teacher brand, and how it aligns with what your STAR student is seeking. Yeah, so we're kind of bridging that gap between the two. So I want you to think about it again. What unique strengths do you bring to the table? Think about, your online class. Think about what your students resonate with and what do they really benefit from when they walk away from your class, or as a whole from your course, for example. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I want to see those answers. I hope you guys can share, and let's count it down, Coach Chris.
Okay, 30 seconds or 60 seconds? Kinga, go
60.
Shinga.
Let's do 60.
Okay, let's go. Alrighty.
Okay, so we have a little bit of a shy crowd. That's okay, no problem. Let's do this together, Coach Chris.
Cool.
Coach Chris and
I have some examples. Melindy just shared some strengths.
Awesome, Melindy, love it.
Let's bring it up here. So, strengths and personality, high energy, believe in having fun, enjoying chats and learning about others' experience. Okay, traveled since young, worked in corporate, worked abroad. Cool. What do you make of this, Coach Kinga, in terms of Melindy's strengths?
Yeah, I like this. So I like that Melindy is taking into account the classroom environment. That's really
Yes.
important also, the environment of your classroom. It's an experience. It's not, it's not only a service. It's really, when we're thinking about the value of our offer, it's really the experience of the offer as well as a whole, right? That kind of feeds into it. So I love that she's thinking about that. She's thinking about incorporating. So I understand Melindy has traveled since a young age, so maybe
Yeah.
she's able to make that cross-cultural connection with her students.
Agreed.
Maybe her students are also looking to travel abroad, and she can help, prepare them in some way for this experience. So
Absolutely.
I'm really interested, Melindy, in hearing about how you help your STAR students specifically using your strengths.
That'd be a good follow-up question.
Mhm,
And just
mhm.
to like maybe dive deeper into your sentences, like why do you believe in having fun, for example?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the why is very powerful and important.
Jensen, awesome. So vocabulary are some of your unique strengths. Could you expand on this a little bit more in the chat? What specifics about vocabulary? Is it the way you teach it? Is it the way that, is it a particular realm of vocab? Let us know.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. About, what kind of vocabulary you present or how you present it, and also taking into account how does your star student benefit from that? I teach my star student to blah, 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 XYZ, so that they can, et cetera, et cetera. So that they can is also really important, right? It kind
Yes,
of
100.
accentuates the desired result that they're seeking.
Alrighty. So, Jensen, while you finish the chat, I don't know if I could go over some other answers from our boot camp.
I would love to. I'd love to hear them.
Okay. So one of our answers that we collected from the boot camp was, a teacher said, I can help students overcome their fear of speaking English in public. So that's a good start. I think that, we said it in the boot camp, we need to kind of delve deeper into maybe what type of public space is, defining if this is like a work public space, school, etc. So really getting specific. That's kind of the goal with the STAR student.
Absolutely. And also in that statement, I'm also missing the "so that" part, right?
Right.
Overcome their fear of public speaking so that they can, speak more comfortably in a meeting in
Exactly.
front of your colleagues in the corporate environment, for example, or present a speech. I don't know, off the top of my
Yeah.
head, at university. So that element is also really important.
Excellent. I agree. So Jensen, thanks for expanding on what you mean. So now it's taking that, what Coach Tinga said, and asking yourself so that X student can get X result, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Awesome.
Awesome.
Very good. Great answers, guys. Thank you so much for contributing. So without further ado, Coach Chris, let's get to the first T. Yes, shall we?
Yes.
Shall we?
T
That
is
T?
for targets.
Yes,
Are your
exactly.
target student.
Exactly. So we really worked really hard to use, acronyms, right? Am I correct?
Alliteration.
Is it alliteration? I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
Yeah, okay. We're English. But
I have no
exactly.
clue.
We wanted to make this really fun. So our first T is for target, and target refers to dun, 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 your teaching niche, or as we
Exactly.
already talked about it, your star student. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not enough to define that, you want to teach ESL. It's not enough to say that you want to teach ESL to Chinese students. We have to shift our focus into really narrowing down to our star student so that it's so
Right.
clear that when we think of our star student, we even have like a profile or avatar in our mind of who exactly we'd like to be teaching with our offer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want us to notice that we don't say logos, we don't look at colors, we're not looking at images, none of that in this definition, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So even Melindy's answer here. I want to focus classes on preparing students for a variety of conversations and being able to hold conversations on an array of topics. That's wonderful and that's awesome. But to me, that is a bit of the feat. To some degree, that's a result. To some degree here, there is a little bit of the features of your offer. I'm really interested in hearing about what kind of students specifically. What kind of students? Are they professional working women? Where do they come from? Sometimes in our boot camp, we get so specific even to say like, what city do they come from? What's their income bracket? That also kind of helps us
Agreed.
gauge, what kind of rate are we going to be charging, right? So getting really clear and specific on the demographic of your student, who they are, what are their challenges, right? What is standing in
Right.
their way of being able to hold that conversation? And in fact, why do they need that? What's the end goal?
Right. You're not just it, we're becoming a brand, we're becoming a business. So it's not about teaching. It goes beyond that. It's about solving a
Exactly.
problem.
Exactly. In this, and this is going to be, I don't know if I'm going to receive some hate for this. It's a bit controversial. It's not enough to hold a master's degree. It's not enough to have X years of experience. It's not enough to have a TESOL certificate. In the world of social media marketing, you have to stand out, and to stand out to someone in particular. I think we say this a lot, Coach Chris, that when we speak generally, we speak to no one at all, right? So that's also kind of
Exactly.
where the concept of the star student falls in, that, not only are
Yeah.
standing out among that sea of teachers, but you're also calling in a particular kind of lead. So you're narrowing down the field, which makes it easier to attract leads in the end.
Right. And I think it also social, I think it also can apply and expand beyond social media and really thinking about the business in itself. Like,
Oh, that's true.
why are you running a business? Why do you want to go independent, essentially?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. That's a great point, given
Understanding that.
also that we're talking about the teacher brand. It goes so much more beyond, an app on social media in
Right.
general. It's just kind of everything your business and your brand encompasses, right?
Yeah. And if you're maybe asking yourself at this moment, well, I don't know how to do that. All previous platforms that have existed that you've been employed by and that we've worked at have gone through the same iterative business thinking. So it's
Mhm,
not something that we're saying, it's something that is is a structure, it's a framework that we need. So
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
cool. Great. So that's a little bit about finding your student and understanding that, there's a difference between being a generalist and being more specialized and focused in this online teaching world. So
Mhm.
let's go to the second T, Coach Kinga.
Yeah, the second T,
T is for text.
grit.
Yes.
Exactly. And this kind of relates to, so now we are in fact going to touch on social media marketing. So now we've narrowed down our
Correct.
niche. We're clear on who we are serving, who we appeal to, who we want to attract into our business. And now we have to call them out. So we really have
Yeah.
to fine tune our messaging and speak to one kind of student in particular. Because I
Right.
don't know about you, Coach Chris, but I'm a sucker for like messaging in social media. When I feel personally called out by, I don't know, like a coach maybe, or someone that I admire on social media, and they're maybe pitching something and I feel like they're really speaking to me, I jump into action and I'm sold. I don't know how it is for you, but that's how it works for me. And that's how it is. The messaging is so personal. The words they use are so aligned with what I'm struggling with or what I'm facing currently, that it's just so natural for me to gravitate towards them and build some kind of like client um client coach client teacher relationship.
I mean, yeah, I think what's happening there is that the content is serving you, right?
Exactly.
It's adding to your life, essentially.
That is so true. And on that note, I also want to highlight the fact that it's serving me, but it's not only serving me educational value. Because let's think about it this way. If you, for example, are serving your audience only education, only tips, right? Especially if they're generic tips that can be easily searched for on the internet. Yes. I mean, that's kind of where the relationship stops. We're training our audience to get free lessons from us, essentially, right? There's nothing really kind of influencing them or pushing them into action. So that's why we have observed, and we implement this in our own marketing, in the marketing we do with our teachers, that it's very important to diversify your content by various pillars. So T is
Right.
for text, T is for messaging, and that pertains to content pillars.
And this essentially takes the guesswork out of your content creation. So this gives you a sort of jump board to jump off of, right? A starting point,
Exactly.
and gives you the idea, the next step to really create something that engages your community, that allows your audience to really say, hey, I think that's my go-to teacher.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because not only is it, very sustainable for you to have a strategy in place in terms of your content, right? Where, like you said, it's taking the guesswork out of what should I post next? Well, I make, one post this week according to this pillar, and then maybe I take the same idea, but I present it in a different way according to this pillar, right? That makes it easier for me to post content because I can really take one idea, one theme, and I can
Right.
divide it into 5 different pillars, for example. So I can present it in different
Absolutely.
ways. But on the other hand, my audience is engaged on various levels, okay? Because it's about,
Yes.
there's a process to social media. First of all, we need to attract the star student into our world by our profile. But then we need to keep them there somehow. We need to retain their interest and their attention. And we can only do that by engaging them and then further on nurturing them by identifying their challenges, their interests, their struggles, their results, and showcasing their potential transformation, for example.
Right.
So this is why it's important to present your content in a different variety of ways according to your pillars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. I think that we covered the second T, right, Coach Inga?
Yes.
Awesome. So next, let's go into T is for transaction.
Cha-ching.
Um, and this is all about really understanding what you have to offer, not only income wise and not only setting those amazing income numbers, but also understanding when you're in the middle of a message, knowing what to say and knowing that, hey, I have this, this, and this. And based on what you followed me for, then this and this should align. So, let's pick the trial, let's have it as a formality and sign the deal.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Coach Chris, I love what you said there. Recently, I think I spoke to a teacher where, a lot of teachers face the situation where they have a lead in their funnel. And, one of the first questions that pops up is, how much do you charge? How much is the package? How much is the class? And
right.
oftentimes when I tell teachers that, at this point, um, most leads don't even ask me for the price, you know,
Yeah.
and in fact, I try to take lead in the conversation, and that's because first of all, my profile, my content takes them through an experience. It's the same with my funnel. It's an experience that I'm leading, I'm directing. And like you said, it all leads into the trial class, which once they experience that immersive environment of my classroom, the trial class is really a formality. Really, the conversion really happens far ahead of that. So that's also
Agree.
something to think about when you are crafting your offer as well, that it doesn't expand just like you're exchanging your time for money and this is the value of like my hour, right? But
Right.
it's so much more beyond that.
Yeah. So, a little bit about your irresistible teacher offer is that at the core of this is actually going back to the first T that we talked about and having that deep understanding of who you're trying to target, who you're trying to serve, and who are you trying to help, and understanding their desires and goals. And so this helps shape your offer and also your messaging. You can think of it as a circle. It all kind of feeds into each other. And
Exactly.
so you can understand your, you can understand. So with that, you understand also at a professional level that you are able to charge more.
Absolutely. So to kind of tie it together and give you guys kind of a practical example, right? So let me just tell you about it in my case. When it comes to my star student, I know exactly where they come from. They're coming from first tier Chinese cities, most of all.
Mhm.
And that means not only can I identify my star student, I know exactly the kind of expectations that their parents have for them. I know
Mhm.
the exact kind of goals that parents might have for their further learning or future learning path. But at the same time, I also know what kind of parents I don't want to work with. And I know how to pick up on those red flags. That's a part of the star student as well, because who you want to work
Agreed.
with and who you don't want to work with is equally as important. Um, I know my star students' challenges. They have limited speaking practice opportunities available. I think Melindy can resonate with that. That's something she talked about. Um, I know that they have limited opportunities for using critical thinking. I know that the classroom style in China is much different from the classroom style that I'm used to as an American. And I know that's something unique I can incorporate in my classroom environment, right? So I try to incorporate
Yeah.
all of that in my offer through my content, through my classroom experience, through the platform I use, through the learning management system, through my resources, which all align with that, through the feedback and the support that parents receive from me when their child is enrolled in my course or my classes. So that all encompasses like my teaching offer. And that's why I'm able to market my class at a higher rate because again, it goes beyond then this is, my time per hour. It's a whole immersive experience
It's
aligned
the
with my brand and
experience.
our students' needs.
100%. I love it. I think that's like the exactly what we've covered in the three T's.
I think so. I hope so. I hope I'm doing it right.
Great. So Melindy Jensen and whoever else is tuning in, give us a 1 if you're getting what we're saying with the three T's. Let us know with a
Yeah.
lucky number 1.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, we talked about target, text, transactions. These are just a few of the T's. These are the the basic
Foundations.
T's that the foundational T's. There is obviously so much more in that, like tech, for example, and etc. But these are the basics, and we also want to show you guys, these are some of our discoveries that we've made through the deep work we've been doing with our one-to-one clients, with the teacherpreneurs in our membership, and within our community. And we have been working directly with teacherpreneurs since
Yes.
May, I think, in our one-to-one program. And we're really excited to show you some of the milestones that we were able to reach and achieve along that journey.
Yes. So first up is Teacher R. And Teacher R has worked with us through quite a few programs at this point.
Yes.
We first started with a profile audit, which we have available in our store.creativefunnel.com. Then we moved into a single coaching session, a 60-minute call to really define their strategy. And then we worked into a one-to-one mentorship program. So that was kind of the ramp up. But what we want to highlight today, specifically from Teacher R's journey, is the single coaching session, those 60 minutes where we spent really talking about their star student and really polishing their messages. And so we're going to show you what happened after that 60-minute call with us at the very beginning of our work together. So in 30 days after our call, Teacher R went from 0 to 700 followers and started to get their first DMs. And this was just after our initial work together.
Okay. This is really amazing. I love this story because, and how many teachers tell us this, oh, I don't feel comfortable showing up on social media. Not everyone feels like they are cut out for social media. And a lot of people say, social media, it's more for me about consuming social media. I don't see myself putting myself out there on social media. But the idea of social media and your teacher brand is to make it uniquely yours and find a way for you to show up comfortably, to make it your own. And that's exactly what Teacher R did. And his results have been amazing. He really shows up as himself. His audience
Yes.
eats it up. Currently, he's at
100.
like over 2K followers. I mean, this is really an amazing, amazing transformation of his. And he's able to keep this momentum going because he can just show up as himself, do his thing, and just attract the right kind of audience that resonates with him as a teacher.
And now post working with us, so he did end our mentorship program. He now, with what we've worked on and what he keeps on with consistent work and determination, he's getting about 1 to 2 leads a week. So 1 to 2 inquiries a week, which then goes into the trial. And he has about a 50-50 rate with conversion. So about every month or so, he's able to enroll 3 or 4 students.
Yes, and I think when we followed up with Teacher R, he was previously working for a platform, and right now he's up to about maybe 15 hours teaching independently per week. So, that's an amazing transition for him, being, having worked for a platform previously. I mean, I think he's actively in the transition to go into being fully independent. So hats off to Teacher R. Fantastic story.
So Kinga, before you jump into the next story, I do want to address I just want to address the first part of Melindy's comment.
Okay.
In terms of getting more guidance, stick around and we'll definitely let you know after we share one more story of a teacherpreneur's journey with us. So the questions that we're posing to you are intentionally open-ended because that is the first initial work that we do with all of our clients. So we go either through a questionnaire or our first call. We are doing these open-ended questions. And that's important because we need to flesh out those ideas and we need to really identify what is it that is making your passion tick? What is it that is your goal for your business? Beyond money. I get it. We want to cover our bills, but if this is we have to think about this for the long term and not necessarily the short term. So I just wanted to address that and bring that up.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach Chris, for saying so. And thank you, Melindy, also for the question and the comment. Also, something worth noting, very important. It's very important for us to see our clients and the teachers that we work with to actively work through these questions and dig through, all they have to offer, all the thoughts in their head, because it has to be something that's yours. Because we have to know that when our working relationship ends, that you still are able to thrive. It's not us holding your hand every step of the way, or I like to use the analogy, we're not there to hold you up as you swim. You're out there swimming on the ocean, but we're on the shore watching you swim. Make sure you don't, flop to the bottom of the sea. So it's really important for you guys to be able to carry this knowledge and make it your own and implement it. Have us on the sidelines, but we want to make sure that you can succeed and thrive the moment that we do step away.
Yes. So on that note, we would love to introduce you to our next teacherpreneur, Teacher C. Teacher C was able to um, get get the question out of their heads of, okay, what do I post next, or what the heck do I post on Xiaohongshu? And through the work that we've done and more of the intensive work that Coach Kinga and Teacher C have done with content creation and content strategy, Teacher C has been able to go, from 0 leads to now enrolling students actively in their business. Yeah.
Great. Yes, exactly. So you can see here from crickets to 2 new students and 6 trial classes in 3 months. So that's a little bit of a longer ramp than Teacher R. Um, so it was important for us to kind of highlight, the different points and journeys that different teachers experience. There is no copy and paste formula, and not everybody is going to be on the same timeline or securing the same exact results. But what was really interesting about Teacher C's experience is that specifically when we were working on content pillars and diversifying content, sometimes I could feel some resistance with certain ideas. So to give you guys an idea of what kind of content pillars we work through, some content pillars are for building community, so building trust and rapport with your community. Some content pillars are for growth, to really, use kind of trending content or something that really grows your audience, right? That's shareable, for example, or brings in a lot of leads. Something educational, for example. So you are serving value, you are positioning yourself as an expert. And sometimes when we took one idea and we presented it in a different pillar, and Teacher C felt that that piece of content was really garnering low views. So it didn't make sense. Why are we adding this piece to the puzzle when it's kind of flopping, the views are low, I'm not hearing any leads? And, I just kind of took a step back, and I I acknowledged the feelings, but the amazing thing about Teacher C was that she was still persistent. She just still kept going, and she still kept following the structure, the format. Fast forward to 3 months later, her content blew up. And some of her posts, especially the growth posts, so the ones that really expanded her profile, are sitting at 2,000 views. But what's really interesting, those pieces of content where she was questioning, those have low views, but those really uniquely show who she is. And they keep her leads on her profile. And now her leads reach out to her and ask her, wow, did you create that content by yourself? It's amazing. And they really have a chance to get to know her. And that's exactly what's
Yeah.
driving that traffic from the, huge views on the growth content into the content of like engagement, education, building trust rapport, funneling those into her DMs. And that's what's driving the trial class. All of those pieces together presenting her unique teacher brand.
Exactly. So, in the chat, I want us to commit to action because, it's awesome that you're here and committed to watching this training, But I also want us to walk away understanding that we're going to answer some of these questions and we're going to actually get to some of the work. So if you're with me, let's type in action in the chat. Alrighty. So while y'all's commit, I want to take a moment to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Is that okay, Coach Kinga?
Yes, I'm excited. I love
So,
Zooming.
awesome. Thanks, Melindy. Thanks, Alana. So,
Oh, no.
let's take, oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying hello, Alana.
Hello. It's okay. So let's take a moment to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Building an online teaching business is no small feat. Alrighty, it's multifaceted, it's intricate, and let's be honest, it can be sometimes very overwhelming. And there's a lot to tackle, right? Right?
Exactly. Yes.
You know,
Tell me more.
from getting crystal clear on your ideal client to crafting these really defined messages to designing your irresistible offer and then becoming visible to the right person, nurturing that person, and creating content that truly converts. And the list can go on, honestly. We can talk about your opt-in / lead magnets. We can talk about how you're creating an email list for your business. We can talk about how you're serving and really diving deeper into your messaging, star student, etc. So there's a lot of foundational work, tech work, of course, getting into management too. Kind of organizing your day as an entrepreneur is a little bit different as an employee or a self-contract person. So then there's the vast world of social media platforms. Specifically, we're experts in Xiaohongshu, and that opens the door to a massive and ever-growing Chinese market. And it's not just about creating content. It's about aligning the content with the pillars that we discussed in T for text. And then with Xiaohongshu, what's special is that we are foreigners. We are strangers in this social media world. So there are special community guidelines that we have to navigate, and we have to make sure that our content is optimized for a foreign platform. And we have to understand the nuances of the Chinese culture, which, if you've been teaching in China, you should have some background experience on that already. So it's about ensuring consistent engagement and growth on your platform to really bring that visibility. Alrighty. So, excellent. We've covered a lot in this past hour, from your targeting your star student to text for your content, and T to crafting your messages. So, after some of the feedback and interaction that I can see on the chat, I would want us to take that deeper dive, if you will. I want us to really gain clarity on our target audience, refine our messaging, strategize our content, and really understand the essence of our teaching offer. Alrighty. And so that's but here's the thing. I think there's much, much more that we can't cover in 1 hour, unfortunately. And I hope that a lot of you had an aha moment. If you had an aha moment in this past hour, let's type in aha in the chats. And I want to see if there's been any realizations of how much more there is to work and the depth that maybe we think of as simple tasks, but really, going that they go beyond that surface level. So, excellent. And I think that's where we can go alongside you and work with you as you continue your teacherpreneur journey. Alrighty, and that's where our new coaching program comes in, the Teachpreneur Brand Blueprint. And that's where we're going to actually spend 14 weeks, where we delve into everything that we didn't cover today in the masterclass, and that we are kind of just starting to skim the surface of. We're diving deep. We're refining each skill to ensure that you're not just another online teacher, but a standout teacherpreneur in a league of your own. Alrighty. So, if I could get your permission, please, to give me 5 more minutes. I know we're at the hour mark, but I just need 5 more minutes to really talk about TBB, our teacher brand blueprint. So, give me a big yes if I can get your permission to talk about TBB, please. Right to me. All right, Melindy, to me, it seems our foundational elements required to get started. How does one simplify? Okay, I like this. I like this. Okay, thanks for the permission, y'all. Melindy, before I start to get into details of TTB, I really want to address some of your questions. So this is taken into account, and TBB is the coaching program that allows for this accountability and for the support. It's also very essential that your circle and that your close network understands that you're going the route of entrepreneurship. And it's a route that not a lot of people pick. A lot of people like to pick the employer. I'm going to get employed. They'll save my RA. I'm going to retire. I'll do the 9 to 5. It's about asking yourself what course you want to set for your life. What's your end goal? For me, it's freedom. Freedom in all senses. My time, my money, my life. Control, essentially, of my own. So how does one simplify in order to not stagnate, get caught up in the huge thing of this? Melindy, if you follow me at Chris the Online Teacher, or if you've heard some of my previous YouTubes, I talk about workable chunks. So you have this awesome big goal, and just really thinking about it as this, not thinking about it as this big goal, but thinking about, okay, what are these tiny steps I can take? I want 10 students, in my business, charging at $50 an hour. Well, let's get realistic. What do I need to do first to get there? So I'm gonna reel you back in and tell you, hey, do you even know what student you want, right? So it's a little bit about taking a step back. Great. So thank y'all for the permission, Melindy AH. Let's get into TBB. So this masterclass is just the beginning. And I think, and I see some of you're really already on it, and you're feeling these energy and this action. And I don't want that to stop here. I don't want the risk of plateauing here. And I think that you deserve a lot more than just a plateau. So think about it. There's a vast difference between consuming a course or consuming a pre-recorded boot camp, or actively participating in a program that sets unrealistic rewards and expectations for you. And there's a difference between that, and there's a difference between what we do, which is actually actively implementing the knowledge that is out there, that you have, that we have. And it's about asking the how. It's about showing you the steps, the strategies, and the techniques. And I think that's the first crucial step to understand. And with TBB, Teacher Brand Blueprint, we take it a step further, right? So that's where the real transformation happens. It's one thing to know the theory, but it's another to execute it effectively in the real world. And in TBB, that's where we start, is specifically with our weekly group coaching calls. And so again, this is a 14-week group coaching call. So you're going to get together with like-minded entrepreneurs. So I think for us, these calls are the secret sauce. I think they're the game changer. Every week you get this one-to-one coaching with direct eyes on your business. And apart from that, imagine being in a supportive environment with peers who are on the same journey as you. Every question they ask, every piece of feedback we give, every challenge they face, it's an opportunity for you to learn. It's an opportunity for you to get inspired, and it's an opportunity for you to see things from a fresh perspective. And it's a dynamic, interactive space where ideas flow, challenges are tackled on and embraced. And I think that's where the real growth happens. So that's why we decided to go with a weekly group coaching part of this program, and go beyond one-to-one. Because I think that's what TTB is really comes down to, is this group action, implementation, motion, movement, and energy. So like Kinga said, we talked about target texts and transactions today. And what we would get into in TBB is, of course, all of that, diving in deeper, and then talking about tactics, tech, and teamwork as well. So, excellent. You'll be getting weekly group coaching calls, as well as, in addition to, one-to-one sessions with us, with coaching and coach and me, in a rotation type of process. You'll also have a private Slack channel. We like to call it a coach in a pocket, where you'll have access to us, on the go. And of course, you'll have access to our Create and Convert training portal as well. So that's a little bit about TBB. It's our signature group coaching program that teaches you how to build a teacher brand on social media, target your ideal students, craft your teacher offer, and fill your time slots with your enrolled students. TBB is for you if you're ready to be the go-to teacher leader on social media. TBB is for you if you're ready to have an offer that you won't get a no for. TBB is for you if you actually want to learn how to sell. Maybe you've just been posting a post. And TBB is for you if you want to have a solid foundation for your teacher biz and no more wondering, how am I going to get my next student? So inside of TBB, we're going to be taking you step by step through creating rapport with your followers, identify your ideal student, and learn how to sell on social media with a well-built teacher brand. So of course, you get your portal, your Teacher Biz Foundations, weekly group coaching calls, and a community of goal-driven teachers to head towards freedom and thriving, and thrive for your business. So excellent. That's a little bit about TBB. And we actually, since this is a 14-week journey that we're going to be taking with you, your next step would be to book a free 30-minute discovery call. And we actually want to sit down and talk to you and see if this is the right fit. So I'll be sharing the link in the comments. And yeah, any questions on TBB? I am open to that now. Alrighty, it's in the link now. I want to say thank you for allowing me these extra minutes from your time and commitment to this masterclass to talk about TBB. And I hope that it's the right next step for you, and that we can join in this call to see if it's the right fit. Great. So Melindy, keep it up. I see that you're ready to go. Thank you, AH. Thank you, Alana. And thank you, Jane and Jensen, for participating. Alrighty. Take care. Bye.